Can you please go ahead with your introduction, your technical and functional background?
I have little background on SQL and VLSQL. Okay.
Okay.
I took lessons in C#, C++.
Okay.
But this is before 3 years or 4 years.
Okay.
Now I'm working on another field. It's I'm working on SAP, but it's only view reports.
Okay. So can I say like you are a BI analyst, business analyst?
No. I work on Excel. Okay.
Okay.
On Excel.
Okay. So, like, can you give me any example?
Analyzing. I'm working on sales distribution. Distribution reports. Okay. I analyze them on Excel only.
Okay. These reports, from which system are you getting them?
From which system? From SAP.
Yes. Oh, so from there are two systems like SAP ECC or R3 and SAP BW. So from which system?
SAP BW.
Okay. So do you like someone runs the report and gives it to you, or you only run them?
No, only run.
Okay. So you use Bex Analyzer, right?
Right.
Okay. So further you analyze and give the information to some other, pass on to some other management user?
Right.
Okay, fine. Only like what all areas reports you are dealing? Only sales area?
Only sales area, right.
Okay, so like what's your designation called? Is it a reporting specialist or analyst?
Something like that.
Okay, fine. So, any specific reason for choosing SAP BW? Can you tell me the reason?
Because I'm
now, like why you are opting for a BW demo? Like, what's the purpose of that?
Because I have a background of how reports works. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And I want to,
know the back end, how it is designed, right?
Right.
Okay. And by the way, like, do you give reporting requirements also to the user? Like, you give some requirements, someone designs it for you, or you are using some standard things?
No, standard.
Okay. So you yourself have never given any requirements, right?
Right.
Was there any situation like wherein you asked for addition of any field or anything, any filter?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No. Was there any requirement wherein you asked for addition of a new field to the report like that?
Like what?
Generally, if you are having few fields, we might ask for adding one more field to the report, right? Anything of that sort you came across? Okay, no problem. So, do you have idea about what is SAP ECC or SAP R3? Have you heard about them?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, and any idea about what is ERP?
ERP, yes. I have studied ERP.
Okay, enterprise resource planning, right?
Right.
Okay, like for a company, if I am talking about a manufacturing company, there will be a lot of resources. You can take a sales department, inventory, finance. These are a lot of departments. So all these departments should be properly coordinated.
Connected. You mean?
Yeah, or we can say integrated is the actual word. all these systems should be properly integrated so that the business optimum business can be achieved. What happens is, when ERP is not there in a company, let us see a situation. The inventory will store the raw materials.
Right.
So today they have a certain stock. Based on that stock, the production planning team needs to start the manufacturing. So what the production planning team does is, before manufacturing or committing anything or starting anything, they will check with HR how many resources are available, like any type of contract workers are there or full-time workers, are there any available. Likewise, they will check with inventory how much stock is there. Like for manufacturing, they might require certain quantity, whether it is there or not. So many interactions are required, and if suppose they want to purchase anything also, they have to check with finance whether sufficient amount of money is there or not. So like this, they have to coordinate with all the teams. So unless they call and ask the inventory team, they will not know the current stock level. Likewise, they have to call and ask the HR team to know the current workers availability. So what they can do is, the inventory team every day in the evening, they can give a printout to the other team saying that today, end of the day, this is the stock. But if such thing is happening, the production planning cannot work on that, because tomorrow afternoon I cannot take decision based on yesterday's stock quantity. Tomorrow afternoon, by that time, some other stocks might have been sold, consumed. So even though they are sharing some printout and information regarding the stock level, it's of no use. So in either cases, they have to contact inventory team or any other team to get real-time information. So the main problem is real-time information is not available. This is the main problem. Now, and another thing is, the departments are not integrated properly. That's why they have to call each and everything. Like they will call the inventory, then after checking the sales, they will check with HR, then check with finance. Obviously, this will consume a lot of time. So you are losing on time, as well as calling them, writing mails, interacting, everything will consume a lot of money also. Money-wise also, you are manufacturing something and selling something. The price is the same, but your operating costs are increasing. So this is also one of the problems. So to avoid this, what they have done is, they have come up with a computerized software called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So all the resources for an enterprise should be planned properly. That is, the sales, inventory, all the departments should be planned properly. So so it is nothing but a computerized application, you can say. Earlier it was through some other application or through manual entries, using ledger books or Excel sheets, they would maintain data, or some other small application. But now they are using ERP package to do their transactions. So this ERP package is provided by many vendors. So list of vendors we will see. So here you have a list of vendors. One is the Oracle, PeopleSoft, Siebel, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics. So out of these vendors, all of them provide ERP. Which of the vendor is most popular or most widely used?
SAP, I think.
Yeah, there might be one reason behind that, right? So let us know the reason behind that. What happens is, now if I have an HR department, my ERP vendor should take care of my HR department. So for that, if I go with PeopleSoft, it's the cheap and best compared to all the vendors. PeopleSoft is having like less license cost and maintenance cost, so that's why I will go with PeopleSoft. But the problem is, I have a finance department, I have inventory department. For that, the vendor PeopleSoft is not having a solution. So again, you have to search for another vendor. Oracle is the vendor who is cheap and best for finance. But again, problem is Oracle is not having solution for inventory. So from a management perspective, will you have this bits and pieces, or it should be a single vendor who covers all the departments? Yes, which would be better, bits and pieces or single vendor covering all departments?
Which one? Which of?
I just gave you an example that HR is, PeopleSoft is only HR, Oracle is only finance. Now, will you use bits and pieces for each department, different vendors, or a single vendor who covers all the departments? Which is better?
The first one, the different.
So, but if you are using a different vendor, they are using different software. How can they communicate? One is a PeopleSoft software, another is a finance software. They cannot communicate. Then again, how can you integrate them? If you are not integrating, what is the use of an ERP software?
You mean I mean you mean one vendor, right?
Yeah. Which one is better? One vendor or more vendor? Like each bits and pieces of vendors.
It must be one vendor, but we can, if they were two vendors, we can connect them or not, or we can integrate, right?
Yeah, we can do, but again, that is not a
better to use one vendor.
Yeah, what you said is also correct. Like if you have two vendors, you can connect them. But what about the data security? They cannot guarantee, right? You are using a third-party application to connect them, which is not authorized by these two. So obviously data security, that's very important. Like you are spending millions of rupees on the company, the data security is very important. Okay. So that's why the management will take a decision that a single vendor which covers all the departments. That is where SAP scores. SAP is the vendor who provides the solution for all the departments.
Right.
Okay. Departments or modules. So here they call them as each module, okay, like sales module, finance module, HR module, like that. So you see over here, why the advantage with SAP, why it is more popular, because integrated. It is providing an enterprise-wide solution. All the departments it is covering, since it is the software which is covering, it is integrated as well. That's why the information will be secure, and it supports multiple languages. So this is the reason why SAP is the most popular. If you take a medium level company or a big top level company, which has a lot of departments. Okay. Now, these things, like in SAP, it is categorized into different modules. You can see over here, it is SAP as a software, or if someone wants to learn, you have two modules, technical and functional. So technical means either admin side or programming side. So if you want to go into the admin side, you have to learn a course. It is SAP Basis. That will be like, yeah. So it will be SAP Basis course. The SAP Basis is nothing but your network admin who takes care of your laptop and other internet connectivity. Similar to that, in an SAP environment, you have a basis. Likewise, a programmer. Whatever SAP is built backend, the software is built on the programming language ABAP, Advanced Business Application Programming Language. So this language is the backend. So if you want to learn programmatically in a programming side, you have to learn this language. What is the use of learning this language is, this software might need some customizations. So if you are aware of the backend code and how to write a code, you can write the customizations. Clear?
But if you want to be an administrator, does it important to have some knowledge of ABAP?
No, both are two different things. It's just like your Java programmer and a IT network admin guy. Both are different roles, right?
Okay.
Like that. So if you have again the functional modules, they are split into finance, HR, logistics. So this does not mean only 3 functional modules are there. Finance is a very big thing. You can see under finance there are so many sub areas: finance, controlling, investment management, enterprise controlling, asset accounting, lot of things. Likewise HR, payroll management, time management, personal management, travel, training, so many things. Likewise HR, logistics. Logistics is the largest module. It's a collection of all the things like sales and distribution, material management, production planning. What you can think is, logistics means raw material to finished product. What all departments are involved, they are all logistics. For example, first you purchase materials and store them. So that is taken care by material management. Then you manufacture them, that is production planning. After manufacturing, you check the quality, that is quality management. Then your manufacturing equipment should also be properly functioning. So for them, plant maintenance. Then again, after it is manufactured, you have to sell them, that is sales and distribution. So that's why all the departments from raw material to finished product, these are called as logistics.
Okay.
So now there is one name called R3. So whether it is a functional or any whether it is a sales or a finance or HR, they are generally calling it as R3. Okay, let us understand what is meant by R3. R3 means real-time 3-tier architecture. Each software will have an architecture, right? Likewise, this software is having an architecture called R/3.
Okay.
So we have 3 layers: a presentation layer, application, and database. So presentation layer is nothing but the screen on which we are working. Okay. So as I told you, this ERP system is mainly for transactions. So for maintaining transactions, they are using a system. So you can see this is SAP logon pad. It is called as a GUI, graphical user interface. Just like you will have Yahoo is a mail service provider, but everyone can connect to that, right? Provided you have an email ID, address, and internet. Likewise, this server is set up at some place. Provided you have a configuration, you can connect to that. You have to have the configuration. Okay, so using the logon pattern with the configuration, we can log into this server. So this is how an SAP screen looks. So in this screen, all the transactions are happening. Earlier, they were doing using some Excel sheet or some application. Now all transactions. Yes, tell me, any doubt?
It's okay now.
Okay. So all the transactions are happening in this system. So whether you are creating a purchase order or a sales order, everything is happening in this system. So this is the presentation layer, one of the layer, and once you create a transaction, that is falling into the database. Okay, so that database can be, can you give examples of database? Yes.
Hello. Hello,
Yes.
sir. It's showing offline. Muhammad is offline.
Okay, okay, we'll wait.
Wait.
Okay.
Sorry, I can hear now.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
It's my connection.
Okay, okay, fine. So I gave you an example of what is meant by presentation layer. We use a SAP GUI, a logon pad, to connect to the presentation layer. So in the presentation layer, like using this application, all the transactions will be created, whether it's a sales order, purchase order, anything. Now, when the, yeah, tell me.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, so when a transaction is saved, it is falling into the database. Can you give examples of database?
SQL.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Oracle,
Access.
So, correct. So mostly you'll find Oracle will be used. Otherwise, you'll find DB2. IBM company's database, that is called DB2.
Okay.
Now, application layer is nothing but all the processing is happening in this. So you are creating something in the front end that is falling into the database. It is because of the application layers. It's like a mediator. It takes the information, puts it into the database. Likewise, the data is stored in the table. If you go to the table and see the data, the application layer is going to the table, fetching data and showing on your screen. So this is what is happening. Now, this is the R3 architecture. So whatever modules I showed you today, finance, HR, sales, everything, they are collectively called as R3. Everything, whatever is there in SAP, everything will have R3 architecture only. All SAP modules have R3 architecture, right? But each thing, the finance, HR, logistics, that group is commonly referred to as R3 modules. It's a common word. Now we have other modules, separate system like oil and banking, oil and gas, SAP banking. These are separate systems. Their architecture is also R3, but they are not called R3. Only this group is called R3. Okay. Okay. So this R3, what happened is a version change will happen. Just like Windows will get upgraded from 7 to 8 like that, this software is being upgraded. Until 4.7 version, they were calling as R3.
ECC modules.
Yeah. Now from 5.0 version, they are being called as ECC. So just a name change over a period of time, name change. That's it, but functionality, everything remains the same, or it is little better compared to earlier version. Okay. So if someone says ECC module or R3 module, both are one and the same. Why the name ECC? ECC means ERP Central Component. Okay. Why the name like that is, earlier we have written down real-time information not available, data departments are not integrated. Now because of this ERP, because of SAP, all the departments are integrated, all are interconnected. Like if I am selling something, automatically finance will get notified that our balance is increasing, all that. Right. Likewise, if my inventory stock is increasing, my production planning team can check from their side that real-time information they will get. They need not contact them every time. So all the data information is falling into a central database. That's why it is called as ERP Central Component. Okay. Now, today if they have created 10 purchase orders, where can I go and check the purchase orders created? Is there any place where I can go and check? In the ECC system or R3 system? I can go to the tables, right? Because the purchase orders and everything is falling into the tables. So can I go to the tables and check them? Okay. Yes, right? Right. But can I ask user to go to the table and check? Will he be comfortable to see that? Or will it be confusing because a lot of fields are there?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the...
Yeah. Can I ask user also to go to the table and check for all the data, or will it be confusing to him?
No problem.
But the table will have around 100, 150 fields. User will not use those many fields. So you will get confused, right?
We go to user?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is better if I give user a report, right?
Okay.
Instead of asking him to check the table, the report, whatever fields he wants, we can supply him. So there are two types of reports. Operational reports, analytical reports. Can you tell me difference between them? Operational and analytical reports.
Operational reports, analytical reports. I'm not sure because
operational is mainly for business operations, for running business operations,
Okay.
running the day-to-day business.
Okay.
Supports business operations. Now you have analytical reports for decision making. For analyzing the business performance and decision making. So in operational reports, we will use current data.
Yeah.
Current reporting. In analytical, we will do historical reporting. So operational report means today's stock quantity, this week's stock quantity. But analytical reports means last 1 year, what's the stock quantity, last 6 months, what's the stock performance, those things. So in operational report, we will user will just open the report. Like for example, I am in a warehouse team. I want to see stock quantity. If stock quantity is less, I will give the order to the vendor. So I will open the report just to see the stock quantity, close it. I won't be doing any navigations.
Like MMBE.
Yes.
Report.
Yeah. So, but analytical reports, that is used by top management. They have to analyze last 6 years, just like you, maybe you have to analyze last 3 months performance or stock performance, all that you have to do analysis. So you just don't run the report and close it. You add lot of fields, you add lot of filters, selections you will give. So that is the analytical reports. So
Okay.
standard reports are given by SAP. So we may not create reports also. So certain standard reports are there.
They all
If
standard created.
yeah, given by SAP itself. Like for example, this is one report which is given by SAP. So you can just run the report, give the vendor numbers, execute it. This will show you the output.
Huh.
Okay. So these like this certain standard reports are there. But these standard reports, like what we can say is these R3 reports are suitable only for operational purpose. They are not suitable for
Historical.
analytical. Yeah, analytical. What is the reason is, first thing is, if you see over here, I'll give a vendor number range. I have given vendor number from 1000 to 5000. I have got some output. Now, if I am from an operational department, I will just see this output and close it. But if I want to analyze the data, first of all, I will give huge selection last 6 months, last 1 year or 2 years. So it will take time for executing the report. Then the output is there. Now vendor name, number, name, location. The materials, what is supplied, to which plants is supplied, what quantity. Now you can do a lot of analysis on this. For example, vendor, material, quantity. material, plant. This is one report. Vendor name, how much quantities gave. So like this, so many reports, different analysis a management user can do. For example, vendor material quantity. Are they in a single line or they are in a different columns? Vendor material quantity. Vendor is somewhere in the top, material is somewhere here, then plant quantities here. Can they do analytical reporting with this? Is it comfortable for them, or they should be in a single, coming in a single row?
Okay.
So the problem is they are static reports.
Static reports, right?
Yeah. So we cannot do filtering or sorting. I cannot choose the fields I want. So in that way, it is causing problem to the users. They have to do a lot of ad hoc reporting.
Okay.
Now, one alternative is using a programming ABAP. They can create a report with only these fields. They can give it to the user. But this report itself has these many requirements. There are so many reports, so many users, so many areas. If they keep on creating custom reports, it's too difficult for them because it involves a lot of coding, right? So that is also not feasible. As a temporary solution, they can give some custom reports, but it's not a permanent solution.
Okay.
Even if they give custom reports also, they are analyzing 2 years data, 1 year's data, lot of burden on the system. Performance will be reduced because of this much of reporting. So your system is meant for transactions, but you are doing reporting, it is reducing performance, your transactions will get slow.
Okay.
So can you afford the transactions are getting slow? Can we afford that? Whatever sales order they are posting or purchase order they are posting, earlier it was taking 1 minute. Because of this huge burden, it is taking 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Will business accept that?
Okay.
They won't accept, right? All your transactions will get slow.
Right.
So because of this reason, so first of all, they are static reports. Then you can't do a lot of customizations. Then another part is the transactions performance will be affected. So these are the reasons why analytical reporting is not suitable in the R3 side. So customers came up with this complaint, and then SAP has come up with a product called BW. SAP BW is mainly a reporting tool. It was introduced to solve analytical reporting problems faced by customers, users. Have you heard BI, BW, or only you? Do you know the difference between BI and BW?
No, I don't.
Okay. But have you heard the names BI, BW?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens is, now any difference between R3 and ECC?
No, I don't have.
Is it? No, I just explained you today, right? R3 and ECC, just a version change, but no difference, right? Just a name change, version change.
Okay.
Likewise, BI is also name change. When they first released the software, it was called BIW, Business Intelligence Warehouse. In 1996-97, they released that. Business Intelligence Warehouse. After that, they released one more version, same name. Then they released another version, 3 series, 3.0. It's called BO. Okay. So why they named it as BW is because it was having license issue. The name was used by some other software. That's why they removed I and named it as BW. But purpose of that, functionality, everything remains the same, just name change. And again in 2004, they came up with new version, again name change to Business Intelligence. Now 2 years back, they released 7.3, they name changed to BW. So now finally SAP has said, in future, they will keep the same name. They will not do any further name changes. Okay. So BW, BI, both are one and the same. Is it clear now?
Okay. بروح من هون بابا. So what happened?
Hello. Are you able to hear me now? Hi, Mohammed. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So, Mohammed, can I continue? If you could reply. BW is mainly for. Yes. Is it Mohammed?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. So as I told you, I showed you the differences between why R3 is not suitable for analytical reporting. It was suitable only for operational reporting. BW is mainly a reporting tool. So BW is a separate system. So since it is an SAP product, it will have same architecture. It will have a presentation server, it will have an application server, it will have a database server. Now, can I directly run the reports in BW, or first of all I need to get data from ECC?
No, I first have to get data from ECC, right?
Correct. Because all the data is in the ECC system, but I am unable to do reporting over there. That's why first I have to extract the data. So what I can say is extract data, process it, and build reports. So if I want to analyze sales information, I have to extract sales data, process it, build reports. If I want purchasing, same thing. Whatever might be the data, if I want to do the analysis in BW, I have to extract it, process it, and build reports. So data flow in BW. Modeling, ETL, reporting. This is the three things you have to do. For example, I am looking, if I want to analyze last 2 years sales data from R3 to BW. this, I have to first do the modeling, then I have to do ETL. Do you know full form of ETL? Extraction, transformation and loading. Okay. So in modeling I have to choose the source system. What is the source system in this case? If I have to extract data from R3 to BW, source system is SAP R3, right?
SAP R3. Okay.
Because I have to get the data from there. Now choose the source. Now if I have sales data, where does the sales data reside in R3? In the database tables, right?
Sales tables.
Now create the target in BW. So first you are extracting and storing data, right? BW is a data warehouse. You have to store data, so that's why you have to create a target. So this you will do in modeling. The BW consultant, you have to do this. Now, even though reporting is your final goal, but you have to do modeling, then ETL. Extract data from source system into BW temporary storage called PSA, persistent staging area. Now tell me one thing. Will I use the data as, will I use one data as it is from R3, or will I do some modifications on the data? Some fine tuning of data will I do usually? We will do some fine tuning of data usually. Because the data in R3 is in raw format, right? I cannot use the raw format over here. I have to do some fine tuning of data, like some filtering or some selections, whatever, different kinds of things. That thing is called as transformation.
Okay.
So before transforming the data, you extract it and put it into a temporary storage called PSA. Transform data, then load data to target. So this is what you will be doing in ETL: extraction, transformation and loading. So the data in my target, is it raw data or transformed data? How the data will be there in target? Is it the raw data or transformed data? Transformed data, right? We have already done transformation.
Right.
Now your data is there, you have to do the reporting. So for reporting you have a tool, design query using query designer. Execute report using
BEX?
Yeah, BEX stands for Business Explorer. Query designer. So the query designer is the tool in which you design the report.
If I know how to make queries in SQL.
Okay. That is totally different from this.
Different.
Like, yeah, here you are not writing any SQL code or anything, just drag and drop. Just show you the query designer. Thus, like in query designer, you open the query designer.
Okay.
Left side you will have the target. You have the target. All the fields in the target you can drag and drop. Then you will get a preview. This preview should match your requirement. So once that is fulfilled,
Report fields.
Yeah. Now extra fields can also be used by users later on, which they will be seeing later on. That extra fields you will put in the free characteristics. So this is how you design a query. Now query designer will have data, or is it only a definition? Tell me. Does it have data or is it only a definition?
No, it doesn't have data, right?
Correct. It's just a definition. Now you have to run the report using Bex Analyzer. So once you run the data, you will get the output. Now whatever extra fields are there, you can drag and drop. You can remove these fields. You can choose your own rows and columns. You can filter it. Lot of flexibility is given to the user to do his analysis. Whatever way you want to do his analysis, he can do. So this is the Bex Analyzer. So until query designer is a BW consultant job, designing this flow. Until query designer. After that, users will use the Bex Analyzer. So this is about a BW roles and responsibility. What is BW? I have given the demo. So, any questions from your end?
For me, I will. This session is recorded, right?
Yes.
I will repeat that session. Okay, by myself and.
Okay.
Check all informations you gave. I have to.
Okay. Fine.
I have to read them again.
Yeah. Yeah. Any apart from the subject, any other doubt? You can contact the coordinator. You can.
Okay.
You can give them the feedback also about the demo.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.